Alright everybody, welcome back to the channel. I know this sound is awful. I know this because I'm at the hospital. I have new medications, and you can see this is obviously not my normal surroundings. I'm using my laptop currently. I didn't take my microphone with me, but I wanted to talk about this new Dungeon Heroes update because I think there's some ups and some downs in it as well. But you will probably maybe agree with me or maybe not. We'll see. Keep an open mind and let's go. So this is the new update. I'm just gonna max it out here for a second so you can read on what it actually says. Give me a second here. I'm just gonna try to max it out for a sec. So 100,000 years later, there we go. Console releases, which is the Mythic update, which kind of has a downside and an upside to it as well for me. So console support, you can now play Dungeon Heroes with Gamepad, so that's pretty nice. I mean, it's gonna open up to a more variety of people, which is awesome. We can't wait to hear your feedback, have fun, and welcome those console players. That is great. Let me just quickly do this so you can see me too. Not that you want to see this face currently, but better than nothing, I guess. I'm gonna try to edit this audio as good as I possibly can because it's awful. Yeah. So, Mythic. All equipment, skills, and pads now have a Mythic rarity. All new M stat that is only available on Mythic equipment. So that's pretty cool. We have Mythicals, but I noticed that the game got tremendously harder for solo players. That's the downside for me because when I was doing the dungeon solo, it took a long time. I think I finished with like 20 seconds over on medium, on the highest dungeon. That is because there's a new rarity in there, so I guess they scaled the stuff down that was there before, which is kind of a little bit sad because I don't like it when things get scaled down. I don't know. I always think if you want to buff something or nerf something, just buff the others instead of just scaling everything down. And in this case with the Mythic, I think they should have just added the Mythic, to be honest, but maybe it's just me and I don't know. We'll see. Anyways, shop. Now we get to pay to win stuff. Sinister Pet Chest. For the first time ever, you can now get pet variants. Now the question is if they are really actual pay to win. I have to check that out here for a second. I'm gonna go into the game. You can't see me go into the game I think right now, but I'm gonna go into the game and I wanted to check something out. So I'm gonna go into the shop. And there's some pets in there. And they start off immediately. The Sinister Somnekk pet with 58, 43. That's the attack. 43, 40, 40, 40. So I think it is pay to win. Let me go into my pets. Mine all start off with 30. I think the best one that I currently have, 30, 33, 36. Yeah, it is pay to win. It is pay to win. I mean, obviously, the one that I have now is like 5k because I leveled it up to 85 and stuff like that, the Holy Harpy. But, yeah, it's a pay to win option. If you start a game with pay to win, I think it's fine. But if you start completely free to play and then implement pay to win, whoever is for it is good and whoever isn't. That's fine. I mean, it's not a huge buff or a huge boost, but they start out pretty strong. So 60 attack is pretty much very powerful. So yeah. By the way, if I sound a little drowsy, that is because I got new medications and my body has to adapt to it. I mean, it's not the new medications, but it's the same medications, just higher dosage. So that's why I am a little drowsy today and I cannot speak so loud because I have neighbors everywhere that have migraine headaches. I'm in a headache facility right now. So yeah. Okay, what else do we have? Pet candy. This will immediately boost equip pet to the next rarity. That's pretty cool. That's a nice ad. But again, is that gonna be pay to win? Let me see. I'm in the game right now. Oh yeah, pet candy. Can be used to instantly increase the rarity of your currently equipped pet. That's pretty much very strong pay to win, to be honest, maybe. You know, I do usually like pay to win, but I think it's quite expensive too, so it's gonna cost you 400 Robux to buy one pet candy, which is a lot. I have to be honest, this is a lot of money. That's $4 around for one pet candy. I'm not a fan of that. I have to be honest. I know that the owner watches my videos, and I hope that he's not gonna get too discouraged. I understand that himself and some of the developers, they have to earn money. I do understand this, but I don't know. This is a little bit mucho grande, because one pet candy is the same cost as one Sinister Pet Chest. Again, 400 Robux I think is a lot for that, but I mean, that's just my opinion on this thing, so maybe you see it a little bit different. If we go into the game passes, you can see, for example, +1 loot roll is already 400 Robux. The inventory slots is 199. Lucky rolls is 299, and ultra lucky rolls is 699. Yeah, that's what I mean, it's quite expensive. 400 Robux is quite something. You do get 10 free crystals every half a day, I think, somewhere along those lines, or every day. I don't know, it says that in the next 13 hours I can get some again, so I don't know, not a huge fan of this system, but okay, that's the first update that I'm kind of questioning, because the stuff that they've done before was actually quite nice. I mean, this is not bad, right? But it heads into the wrong direction. That's what I'm saying. This happens a lot with popular games, and then they fall off. It happens. I've seen it many times. Many times. They have to be careful by pushing more shop stuff instead of actually bringing content to the game. Console release is fine. Yet again, I don't think many of you are going to be interested in that unless you do have a console. I think there's a small majority of people playing console, but especially these games. But yeah, that's just my opinion. Take it or leave it. Then we have Galactic Aura Chest. Again, something cosmetic, I think it is. Then Luck Booster Bundle. Again, some free-to-play stuff. I think getting only 10 free crystals is kind of criminal a day. I mean, imagine how many days you would have to farm to get 1,000 to get one pet candy. Right? But anyways. Options to disable bugs and fixes and stuff. Let me just quickly... okay, so I'm just gonna go down here so you can read that with me. Option to disable enemy targeting now available on mobile. That's pretty cool. That's good. People asked for that. Luck Game Pass now applies to skills. I'm gonna go leave the game, otherwise my computer's making too much noise. Luck Game Pass now applies to skills. Thanks for your feedback on this. That's good. All skills, but again, Game Pass, right? All skills that temporary icons have the real icons now. Okay, the new icons look good. I like them. Health bar tweens between different colors to indicate your health to hopefully improve visibility. Wasn't necessary, but it's good that it's there. If your inventory is full, we send items to your bank. That's good. Very good. We have always done this, but now we tell you it's happening. That's great. That's really good. Scepters, wands, and staff have had their M1 damage adjusted to balance them better. I think they got nerfed. They feel weaker, but that's just my opinion. Applied more fixes to polymorph, a skill that's not really used that much. Performance improvements for dungeons. We yawn to the mine's shimmering caves next week. Oh, I thought that he wanted to take a break, but I guess he didn't. I wanted to share a quick note about the new shop items. I haven't read that yet, so... Roblox actually lowers the visibility of games that don't have good monetization. I don't know if I should believe that or not. Honestly, I don't know. Which makes it harder for new players to discover our game. I think that's BS, because before they had this, they had 20k players. 20k players is great. I think that's not fully honest. I have never heard of this from any developer that I've worked with anyone. I think this is not true. Honestly, I really think this is not true, because I have worked with many developers over the course of 10 years and I've never heard this. We're starting to get D-ranked because of this. I don't believe that. is why it is happening. This happened this week. This sounds more like a reason to say, all right, yeah, we started to do pay to win, and this is the reason why. Not our fault. They gotta grow a backbone on this one. I don't fully support this. We'll be adding more ways to earn crystals, and you'll also be able to get pet candy for free through upcoming features and events. That again is pretty good. I mean, on a technical standpoint, I would say it makes sense that Roblox would say if you don't monetize the game much enough, it won't be pushed. But I haven't necessarily seen that very often. I have worked with people like, let's for example say Anime Card Clash. I know the owners, I know the developers and stuff. And they have a gigantic payment system in their monetization, yet again people jumped off. For example, Bladers Rebirth, for example, has a gigantic monetization system as well. Yet again, they will never be pushed. Who else can I say that works? There's quite a few games. I would have to, if somebody would challenge me on this, I would have to prepare a little bit on it, but interesting. I don't think that it is completely true what he's saying. That's my personal opinion, but again, I'm not a developer. I've only worked with developers. It would make sense that if you have better payment option, that Roblox would say we would push you more. On paper, it makes sense. But I have never heard of this. I've seen people with gigantic cash options that fell off quite fast. It happens constantly on Roblox, and I think it's kind of a little bit of an excuse to make money. But again, please don't forget, making money is part of the game. This is the most important thing, because if the developers are not being paid, because the people are not being paid, the owners are not being paid, then they cannot give you weekly updates for you to enjoy that game. So I personally do believe that they should make money. I think being transparent is the most important thing. But that is just my own opinion on things. Anyways, thank you very much for watching. That's my take on this. You might like it, you might not like it, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace out.